You've now brought up, I think, 3 different times, something that I just can't ignore anymore. This idea of active listening, talking to customers. There was a woman that came on, another 3-time B2B CMO. She's also a value accelerator advisor with Goldman Sachs. And she said, "Steve, as a CMO, we should be spending 20% of our time doing nothing but talking to customers because we don't have the business processes set up to actually actively listen that we can actually learn," right? We have this proxy for talking to customers and prospects called sales and customer success. But in sales, there's a shield up in the middle of that conversation they're being sold to. And the rep talks 2/3 to 3/4 of the time. It's a fact, right? So it's not a listening environment, a deep, meaningful listening environment. And in customer success, we're putting out fires, we're answering questions, we're trying to cross-sell and upsell. So again, you would never say, let's create an active listening program and let's run it through sales or let's run it through customer success. You would never do that. They were set up for completely different reasons. So here's my question, because you work with a lot of different companies. How are CMOs actively listening today? What are the best practices for active listening?
That's a really good question. And I think that's the part which isn't given enough space often. When you're a CMO, again, we're acting on a reactive mode mainly, or a firefighting mode at times.
Yeah.
As you said, because we have been focusing on those quick wins that we need to get through constantly, where it's important that we say, okay, active listening, first of all, is regarding the ICP, right?
Right.
We have
Correct.
all the customer information we need. Are we working with an outdated ICP that might need changing and where we need to get more information from a strategic level? The other part is really setting aside time to understand how each different department works on a customer service front, sales front, like CFOs, EOs, understanding all of those visions and aligning together is really important because of the fact that CMOs are the external arm of communication for the business. So often we work very closely with these departments, and it's also about what are their needs and how can we build an overall business strategy, marketing strategy based on an overall business strategy that's already set in place, right? So this active communication, active listening between departments is also really important. And I think just really trying to understand all different views and bringing it together is also one of the big challenges that companies face usually internally, right? How can we as CMOs also work together with sales, for instance, because sales work with the same personas? How can we build a strategy which is a strategy for the customer? We're serving the customer together based on the knowledge you can provide to us, which we need to receive ongoing. So the more this is all in harmony and we've built an umbrella strategy and we've built these pages for active listening, the more you will see business growth and the more you will see customer growth eventually as well.